How to stop their motivation from sabotaging your group program. Now, my recent research found that 92% of people who join a group program struggle at some point, 61% of those specifically with motivation. And this is just human nature. The reality of change is that it's hard, even when we really, really want something. The cognitive load of taking those uncertain steps, while the path we've always walked is right there calling us back, that is enough to derail even the most committed of clients. Your self-control is exhaustible. The more you have to consciously think about what you're doing, the faster it wears out, and it's draining. Most of what we do day to day runs on autopilot, and when we try to do something different, we're drawing on our reserves. We're not lazy, we're not uncommitted, we're exhausted. So don't assume that once a client is paid, they're all in. The purchase is just the first yes, and now the real work begins. Relying on their motivation alone is leaving their results and your reputation to chance. Tiredness, fear, overwhelm, life, it all gets in the way and it's all working against you. You've probably seen that nice upward curve, the 4 stages of competence, that clear arc from unconscious incompetence to unconscious competence. And that model isn't wrong, but it's not the full picture either, because what that journey actually looks like is your clients start in real high excitement and anticipation. They've just joined, it's amazing, they're all in, and then doubt hits. How does this work? Where do I start? Is this even for me? And as they start consuming your content and actually trying to do the work, they hit that reality check. Oh God, this is harder than I thought. This is a lot. I'm out of my depth. And that's where you'll start to see clients disappear, full of enthusiasm at the start, and then they start to go quiet because they're in their head going, I can't do this. And then if they get through that, you're into the messy middle. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Progress, relapse, before eventually, finally, it integrates, it becomes a habit and it clicks. And most programs just aren't designed for this reality, which is where program leaders who care end up overgiving, adding more in the hope that it will support their clients through. But I'm going to be really direct here. Beautiful slides, extra calls, and your Slack channel are not going to drive client motivation. They're just not. What drives motivation is belief, belonging, relevance, and ownership. So belief is getting your clients to move from I can't to I can, building that sense of this is possible for me, I'm capable of this. Belonging, moving from I'm on my own to I'm seen and I'm safe. And this is totally underrated. If clients don't feel acknowledged, if they're just another name on your list, they are going to disengage. Comparison and isolation creep in, and you are going to end up losing them. Relevance, from what's the point to this matters, anchoring them back to their goal, not your curriculum, but their reason for joining. And then we have ownership, which is from I have no choice to I am in control. That moment when someone moves from passive or dependent in your program to actually having agency for the journey that they're going through. And my flows framework is specifically designed so that your clients stay motivated across the whole journey, not just through that initial excitement at the start. You're going to use that warm welcome to drive quick time to value, early wins, early proof, getting them to that feeling of I made the right decision before doubt takes hold and that initial spark fades. We need to make sure that our curriculum is doing less and not more. Overwhelm is going to absolutely be fatal. We want to give early feedback, making sure that we're showing them how far they've already come and normalizing the wobbles, because if they think the dip means something's wrong with them, you're going to lose them. And then through the messy middle, that 1 step forward, 2 steps back phase, this is where we are going to track progress. We're going to add in accountability structures and facilitated implementation, not just Q&A calls where the same 3 people are asking questions every week while everyone else reads their emails, but actual doing, sprints, workshops, challenges, where they leave having done the thing, not just having learnt about the thing. And once they've integrated, this is where we have to consider a continuation offer, the next yes, making that future value compelling with the case framework, so community access, skills and events. Now, my research found that 70% of support in group programs is informal. And on the flip side of that, 68% of participants felt that support was insufficient. So as leaders, we're running around in our DMs, jumping in to save every wobble, the late night voice notes, adding in extra calls, and it still doesn't feel like enough. Because informal support is not a system. And without a system, you are the system. And it is not sustainable for you to manage it like that. So what do formalised support structures actually look like? Well, you capture the goal at onboarding properly before they start, and this becomes a reference point throughout the programme, not just in week 1. You give them a clear roadmap so they can see what's coming up and how far they've already come. Progress visibility is motivational fuel, especially in that messy middle when it feels like nothing's really changing. You run structured weekly check-ins, so instead of holding everything in your head, you can actually see where each of your clients are at, what milestones they're on, what does their confidence look like, and crucially, is the language that they're using starting to shift? Is there any hint of blame, overwhelm, confusion? These are all signals that they're losing motivation. And when you can spot them early, you can do something about it. A DM, an email, an automated nudge, something extra you're adding to your curriculum. You're not waiting and hoping, you're proactively acting. And then you build in facilitated implementation, because taking action is the hardest part of the journey. If you leave it to do on their own, they're just not going to do it. So we want micro actions, implementation, intention sprints, and defining what good actually looks like with clear success criteria and rubrics. The truth is, motivation is going to take a hit in your program. It's totally normal. It's expected. It's what happens when humans are trying to change. What we don't want to do is leave it to chance and just hope that they push through, hope that they're a unicorn who are going to do it regardless. We want the structures that are going to carry them through the journey, formalised and intentional, so they do the heavy lifting, which means that you don't have to. Now, if you want my weekly check-in questions, the ones that I use to help spot wobbles before they turn into dropouts, DM me the word pulse on LinkedIn and I'll send them over. I'll see you next time.